Hello and welcome back, Malo here, and today we're playing Minecraft, Regrowth. And in the last episode, we made ourselves a bow, and went to the end, and defeated the Ender Dragon, and got the egg, and all that jazz. And in this episode, well, we're going to start out by showing some things that I did between episodes. So first and foremost, I don't remember where I put them. Not in the escape menu, that's not where. I went back to the Nether. I went around and hunted for some things. I found some nether rutile ore and some nether lapis ore and other stuff, but the rutile ore was what I was searching for because I wanted to make the rutile seeds. But then I discovered that in order to make the rutile seeds, you need a block of impure titanium, which is from the impure titanium ingots. However, or from impure molten titanium. However, the ingots or the block... Oh, I did not realize that. Okay, so actually that is something that I can create. Okay, so there's another thing that I can do this episode. Alright, so I was looking at the blocks specifically, and I saw that the block can be casted that way. I didn't see that it could be casted that way, so that's what confused me. So here I was noticing that this was all in the crucible furnace, but there's no nether rutile ore there. And actually, maybe that is something that I tested. Let me go test over here. So let's just bring all 7. So I think maybe I tested this already. I don't recall anymore. That I might not be able to stick these in here because they're the nether rutile ore. As you can see, we're not actually getting any melt there. So yes, that is a problem. So if I had just the plain rutile ore, it would be fine, but with the nether rutile ore, it doesn't work. So the problem is the nether rutile ore. That's what I did. I checked what I can do with that, and I have to put it into a blast furnace. So I don't have a blast furnace, and I don't fancy making one anytime soon, so that may be something for another day. Another possible option is to make an ore kid, which is part of Botania, and then I could probably get plain old rutile ores that way. Although I'm not sure I can, because this doesn't look like it's in stone. So I'll probably just have to suck it up and do a blast furnace. So there's that out of the way. Second, you might notice there's a roof up there and some contraptions. So I finally put a roof on top of my building here. And you'll see, once I get up there, that I've done a lot more than put a roof on top of there. I have TNT exploding. You see that? There's exploding TNT. You'll see it again here. TNT pops out, and then it popped out too far. I need to fix that. Every once in a great while, the TNT pops out too far. That's not actually going to be good. Let me just put this back in here. All right, let's watch this TNT. This TNT pops over there to the middle, and then is set off, and doesn't blow my roof up, thankfully, because of these guys, the entropiniums. These entropiniums absorb a TNT blast, and they put mana into the mana spreader from the TNT blast, and directly into the mana pool. And so you see this mana pool is filling up. This mana pool is actually filling up faster then it's losing mana. And why is it losing mana? Well, you already saw, I'm not doing a very good job hiding it, but this spark here has a rune on it. That rune sends any mana from this mana pool to nearby mana pools with sparks over them. And the 2 nearby mana pools with sparks over them are this one and this one, which also have these nature pylons and are powering this Elven Gateway. And this Elven Gateway is what I have to use to do next level Botania stuff. So I can do a lot better things now that I have this Elven Gateway, and I am more than covering the mana cost to keeping it open with this setup here, with this TNT setup here. Now the way this TNT setup works is, so obviously I showed that I have these timers spitting them out, and then another timer that sends a redstone pulse in to light the TNT. But how do I get the TNT from spitting out to setting on this block? Well, it might, if you're familiar with this Botania, mod, you'll know about this Randon Carpus, which is shaped like a hand for a reason. Basically, what it's doing is whatever item falls near it, any item that's floating nearby will be picked up by this and put on a block that is the same block as the block that it's floating over. So I have an emerald essence lamp there, and so I also have an emerald essence lamp there. So it'll pick up this TNT as an item and place it as a block on that emerald lamp, and that's when the redstone can set it off. So how am I creating the TNT? Well, I need gunpowder and sand, obviously. For the sand, you've already seen that I have earth and fire essences being grown, and you can see here that I am using those. I'm using the same thing that I'm using with the coal, which is the B space mods that allow you to share kind of inventories between the Java barrels, and these are going into what you've seen before, this auto workbench, creating sand as needed. And then I also have creeper essences going into this one here. And the creeper essences, you need 4 of them to create 12 gunpowder. And so you can create gunpowder that way as needed and send that into the gunpowder and the sand into this auto workbench, which then takes the items as needed and puts them into here, into this dropper, where then the TNT is created. So that is the setup, and it works pretty well, as you can see. So I'm making more mana than I'm using for the portal, as I said before, and so every once in a while I need to empty this mana pool, because if this mana pool gets full, these mana spreaders will get backed up. If these mana spreaders get backed up, these flowers will get backed up, and if these flowers get backed up, bad things happen. If there's no flower, if there's no empty flower to absorb the TNT blast, then this will actually explode. So it's a little bit dangerous, but it makes mana quickly. So that I want to put a mana overflow, overflow setup somewhere nearby. I also have one of these Solenoleas, so I don't pick up the TNT with my magnet ring. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I want to make an overflow protection thing. So the way that I would do that is send out a redstone line with a comparator, and if it gets too long, in other words, if this mana pool is too full, then maybe have a mana spreader spread the mana to another mana pool or something to get rid of it. So yeah, that's the setup, and as you can see, it works pretty well. So with all of this this new stuff, especially the Elven Gateway, I also threw this book through, the Lexica Botanica, which once you throw through, you get more recipes and you can see more Elven things. So now under Alphomancy, instead of just the portal to Alfheim, we also have all of these extra goodies to look at, as well as looking in the index for all of these goodies as well. So there are several things that I want to do with this newfound mana or Elven Gateway. Now there are some things that I can't yet do, so I'm not going to mention those, because what I need to do for them is do the Ritual of Gaia, which you may have seen is here, and that involves a lot more and fighting a big scary boss guardian thing, and I don't think I'm prepared for that quite yet. And like I said, I want to get some other things done first. So things that I can do without having to get those particular Gaia spirits include this. Let me go into the index here so that we can find it this way. This thing, it just says type to search. So if I look up Star Caller, there we go. The Star Caller, which is like the Terrorblade, but instead of sending out a little projectile, it sends I assume stronger thing from the sky. It says a falling star heading towards where the wielder is looking. So that would deal damage upon impact to the entities. So that's kind of cool. And I can create all the things that I need for that now, because Elementium and Dragonstone are things that you create with the Elven Gateway. And I already got the Ender Air Bottles, as you saw before, and I have the Terrorblade. However, I also have this other option, or this other possibility, which is the Thunder Caller, which sounds maybe cooler to me. It's a dual prong sword, so it's another sword, and it can conjure lightning. And in this case, it calls chain lightning that hits nearby hostile mobs in a chain, dealing decreasing damage per hit. But that's cool. It changed from enemy to enemy. I kind of like the sound of that better. And a mana diamond actually is even easier to create, so it doesn't seem to be quite as difficult a weapon to create as the Star Caller, but I still think I kind of like it more. So I'm probably going to do the Thunder Caller instead of the Star Caller, though I've not tried either of them. Another thing I want to make is the Crystal Bow, which you saw that I had this other bow, I think the Elven Bow, before. The Crystal Bow, it uses arrows crafted out of mana, basically, so I don't have to carry arrows around with me. So that's nice. Right now I think this has infinity, so I only need to carry one arrow with me, but it's still one arrow in my inventory that, one slot in my inventory that I wouldn't need with the Crystal Bow. And I wonder if it's any stronger. Let's see. So if I look up, okay, that's called a Living Wood bow. If I look up a Living Wood bow, oh, it doesn't say how strong they are. Okay, so I couldn't tell you if the Crystal Bow is stronger than the Living Wood bow. It would be nice if it was, though. So a couple other things that I want to create are the Conjuration Catalyst, which is kind of like the Alchemy Catalyst, except instead of changing items from one item into another item, it duplicates items. Now, for the most part, I'm not going to need these because of magical crops. So I'm not going to need this redstone, glowstone, nether quartz, coal. Maybe would be useful for snowballs. Not going to need it for netherrack. Not going to need it for soul sand. Not going to need it for gravel. Could be useful for leaves, I suppose. Really useful, I think, for me for grass, because a lot of things I use or I craft either need this redstone root, which takes grass, or needs the pasture seeds, which involves throwing grass into a mana pool. So duplicating grass instead of growing it and harvesting it with my shears is much nicer. So that's one thing that I want to create. There are a couple interesting rods. The rod of the unstable reservoir is one that looked interesting. It can materialize countless arcane missiles that home in on targets at random. That's kind of cool. It uses a lot of mana, though, but it's sort of like casting magic missile if you're a huge nerd. I didn't actually read about this. It can be given to a Living Wood avatar. I don't know what that is. Let's see if I can figure out what a Living Wood avatar is. Avatar. Carving some living wood and combining it with a mana diamond heart creates an apparatus known as a Living Wood avatar. By itself, this block doesn't do anything aside from looking reasonably pretty. However, giving it a rod can enable it to cast varied magic depending on which one is given, at the cost of mana from a spreader. Okay, so you need a mana spreader for that. So that's actually not that useful for me right here because I have everything lit up. But if I wanted to kind of protect an area, I could put a Living Wood avatar down and then put a rod in it that maybe like that rod of the unstable reservoir in it, and then shoot mana at it from time to time so that it could hit any nearby enemies. So that would be interesting. Another rod I was looking at is the rod of the shaded mesa, which is interesting looking, and the user may right-click and hold on a monster or item to pick it up. Releasing right-click will drop the selected entity, while left-clicking will fire it in a powerful burst. So it requires significant amounts of mana as well. So basically, I could pick up enemies and items and throw them. I think that's, I guess that's sort of like lots of nerdy things, from Star Wars to Star Wars to Lord of the Rings, etc., etc. So that could be cool too, and that would be easy to create. You can see the Dreamwood twigs take Dreamwood, which just involves throwing living wood into an elven portal. So there's that as well. And then other things that I wanted to look at were pendants, which I could have done before, but I still would like. I guess I can't search for pendants. I still would like to create pendants. Let's see if they're in here or if they're. Where would they be? Natural apparatus. No. Oh, it's probably going to be under botanical brewery there. There we go. Here's all the brews. Nope, pendants aren't there. Where are pendants? You'd think they'd be in baubles and accessories. So, mystical items. Am I missing them? Well, let's just look up a pendant here then. So, here's some pendants that you can create, and you can, if I shift, you can see this is speed 2, this is strength 2, this is haste 2. So basically, what you do is you combine a tainted blood pendant with a brew, which you create on that alchemy, not alchemy, but that brewing thing for Botania, and you can create a pendant, and a pendant will allow you to have basically a potion effect permanently while you're wearing it. So I'd probably do regeneration too. That seems like the most logical one. But for that, I'd want night vision could be cool too. How many slots do I have for pendants? I think I only have one, so I'd have to choose between night vision and regen 2 at any given time. I'll also point out that there's a place for this slot here. A place for this slot. There's a slot for these scrolls that I've been getting here, so I'd like to try that out as well. But, okay, so I'd have to choose between those. One other thing I'd want to look at is getting those ghast seeds. But remember that I need the extreme essences for those. So for those, I would want to create the extreme infusion stone, which I can now do. Because I have created between episodes essences of spider, or seeds of spider, creeper, and the shards, and I now have essences of those, so I can create the extreme infusion stone and do anything that I need to do with that as well. I also want to create all the runes so I can finish that quest in the quest book, but I think if so that's everything that I wanted to go over. I did want to hurry up and complete these quests here. So let's go ahead and claim the strong essences from the seeds. As I said, I created those. I have the 10-10-10s down below going into several barrels. So that's good. And then I have 2 other quests with rewards remaining. So let's go find those. There we go. And they are the Botania related things. So for these I get a few Mana Steel ingots, pearls, and diamonds, which is fine. And then for this, I get an enchanted book and another companion title scroll. I don't know what kind of enchanted books these are. Probably. So you see, I also created mana pylons. I had to create the mana pylons for the Elven Gateway, but I actually didn't use them for enchanting because I forgot you can do that. But let's see. I'll pick the 3rd enchanted book and see what I got. So I got Protection 4 and Lure 3. Lure 3, I could do without those. Alright, well let's try this out. So it has a special rendering effect and it makes me an enchanter. So let's see what happens if I put that in here. There we go. Oh, enchanter level 61. Oh, and that does something. Oh, look at that. It gives me particles, enchanting particles. Interesting. So I'm going to have to try some of these other ones then. Let's take that out for now. Yeah, so it says enchanter when I... Okay, yeah, so it gives me the title enchanter also when I do that. So let's jump down here. Let's throw the essences into here, these guys into here, the mana items, and the books into here with the other books, and let us go, oops, put the ink sac in here, ink sacs in there, and grab our experience. There we go. I should have checked the level of the mana pool up there to make sure it's not getting ready to overflow, but oh, okay, what was I going to do, or where were they? They were in here, right? Here they are. So first of all, I also have this Force of Habit equipped in the title slot. What does that do? Oh, no, wrong one. This. So that control plus right click to link to this in chat. Okay, that's not helpful. But Force of Habit. Does it make me look any different? I don't think so. I don't know what the Force of Habit thing does. Okay. So apparently I don't know what that does. So we are going to come back in here and try the other three. Let's try. So we got 2 enchanters actually. So we actually don't need that. But we also have Mother of Dragons and Nature's Attendant. Let's see what those look like. So here is Nature's Attendant. I got a butterfly! This fits with the Botania theme. Okay. And then, okay, that's another way to access things. So there are 3 different, like, sub-equipment things. Alright, there we go. This has a dragon flying along with me. That's pretty cool, too. Yeah, I think I can have a dragon flying along with me. So that's that. I have decided that for now. Alright, well, one other thing I wanted to point out is that I can create better armor. I can create Elementium armor, which is with Elementium, which is actually really easy to craft because it doesn't even take Terra Steel. I just throw Mana Steel ingots into the Elven portal. However, so the thing that it does is it sends out little fairies to attack enemies that attack you, and they could apply potion effects if I have all 4 Elementium pieces. But this, I like the passive bonuses from the Terra Steel better. Terra Steel is a little harder to create, I think, now that I have the Elven portal always open, and this gives me regen always. So maybe I won't need regen 2 on a pendant. And it also gives me passive mana generation on mana tablets. So I think I'm going to stick with the Terra Steel equipment, but like I said, I'm going to upgrade my bow and my weapon. So I will cut back in when I have something new to show you. And welcome back! As you can see, I have created the Thunder Collar and enchanted it, and I've also created the Crystal Bow and enchanted it, although neither of the enchantments are as good as what I had on the other set, even after several wipings and retryings. But oh well. I also upgraded these to Elven mana spreaders so that they remove the mana from these guys quicker. But actually, it turns out this mana pool is filling up just way too quickly for me to handle. So I've reduced the time, or increased the amount of time to 40 seconds. It was 16 seconds before, between the TNT blocks. So actually, only one of these flowers is producing at a time, but that's fine because it's still producing more mana than the Elven Gateway can handle. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that for now. I just need to empty it every once in a while right now. Once I set up an overflow system, then I can speed it back up. But for now, it can be slower. You'll also notice I've removed this redstone here because I don't want to create a Terra Steel ingot while I do the next thing, which is I have all of these essences and the strong essences here. I'm going to throw them onto here, like so. Then I am going to wait until that, which should be, yep, wait until that creates that Extreme Infusion Stone. You can see it's pretty slow, so it takes a lot of mana, which is why I needed a mana pool that was reasonably full, so that's why I had to cut off the redstone here. You'll also see that I removed all the bookshelves around here and replaced them with mana pylons. Just 2 of them is enough to get you level 30 enchantments, and they're very easy for me to create, and that allowed me to have a whole bunch of extra books to try to enchant books. which only helped a little bit, but it was better than nothing. So yeah, let's see how this is progressing. So far, it's about a third of the way done. Let's grab a living rock. I could have grabbed it out of my inventory as well. Oh, I had hovering hourglass already there. Alright, so we got that, and we have the wand of the forest. So we are ready for the extreme infusion stone once this is ready. So there we go. Now we can just toss the living rock on, and and there we have it. We have the extreme infusion stone. Now, how did I create the master infusion stone? That requires, okay, so that requires a whole bunch more things that I don't have. All of these things that I don't have, obviously. But the benefit of the master infusion stone is that you don't have to keep swapping between other infusion stones. You can just use one single master infusion stone, and that will work for everything. So now we can put this redstone back, and actually it may be enough. Yep, it is. Oh, that didn't work. Or did it? No, that didn't work because maybe because I was standing too close. So let's go ahead and just throw these on manually, like that. There we go. Yeah, it looked like it tried to get sucked into my magnet briefly before it realized that no, it shouldn't be. Okay, anyway, so let's put the extreme infusion stone in here now, and let's check it out in our quest book. Let's go back, go here, open, and there we go. And you can see now we have these other seeds as quests as well. We have things like the ghast seeds, the slime seeds, the wither seeds, osmium, cobalt, ardite, night vision, sulfur, and fire resistance. These three are the ones that I'm not going to care as much about. But let's go ahead and grab our 10 extreme. Ooh, or should we grab the wither skeleton skulls? Wither skeleton skulls might be what I go for. Let's see. So for the wither seeds, yeah, I need 2 wither skeleton skulls anyway. So I think that's worth taking the wither skeleton skulls here. Let's do that. Claim. Oh, I get both. Okay. I need to pay more attention to that. So now I can put the extreme essences in here. And for now, I will put the wither skulls in my yellow bag, like so. And I have 5 ghast tears. Now, I'm pretty sure I got ghast tears as a reward from a quest at one point. But I went out and got 5 more from the nether. I mean, that was between episodes. But I'd really like to know where those other ghast tears went. The ones that I got from a quest. Or maybe I combined them in my bag and didn't realize it. But I thought for sure that I'd put those up somewhere. But I guess not. I guess I must have combined them. But I don't need more than I think 2 for the ghast seeds. Yeah, 2 for the ghast seeds. So yeah, I can create some important seeds: the ghast seeds, the wither seeds, and the slime seeds. The other 3 I can't create yet, but I'll figure that out later. But I think all of that is going to have to happen in the next episode, because I'm going to go ahead and create all 7 of the runes in that episode so that I can create the seeds with them that I need to do. So, yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching, and have a great day.